This is ABS-CBN in the service of the Filipino worldwide.
Good evening, friends. Patuloy ang debate sa death penalty at lalong mainit ang debate sa pagitan ng mga religious leaders. Tutol ang Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines. Yan ang paliliwanag sa atin ni Bishop Teodoro Bacani. Pero ayon naman kay Father Sonny Ramirez, dapat bitayin si Echegaray at Santo Papa lang daw ang maaaring magpagbago ng kanyang paniniwala. Si Brother Eli Soriano, presiding minister of the Church of God, protestante pero sumasang-ayon sa CBCP. At si Roger Bomba Arienda, radio evangelist, protestante din pero ayon sa kanya, parehong malinaw ang mga pro at kontra death penalty. Kayo, anong tingin ninyo? Labag ba sa utos ng Diyos ang death penalty? Please call our voice box numbers to be flashed on your TV screens and let us know what you think. But we begin our discussion now. Okay, Bishop and Father, ang talagang kitang-kita ng lahat ng mga Katoliko ngayon na hindi yata nag-iisa ang Catholic Church dito sa pananaw tungkol sa death penalty. Father Sonny Ramirez, the CBCP has come out with a statement na sabi sa kanila hindi raw tama itong death penalty, labag daw ito sa utos ng Diyos. At si Cardinal mismo nagsabi ng ganyan, ang Santo Papa mismo naglabas ng statement na siya rin ay medyo tutol sa death penalty. Why are you, and let me confirm this also, kayo ba ay sangayon sa death penalty?
Yes.
Sangayon kayo. Okay, bakit? Despite the fact na marami yatang tutol din doon.
In extreme necessities, the death penalty can be used by the state. Sapagkat unang-una, makikita natin na hindi na yata tama ang hindi natin sundan ang kagustuhan ng teachings ng simbahan. At kung titingnan natin from the traditional leanings, si St. Thomas Aquinas sa kanyang sinulat ay malinaw na sinasabing for the common good of the society, some of the members will have to be killed if they are not at all part of the usefulness in the society itself. At kung itong mga taong ito ay nakagawa ng malaking kasalanan o isang krimen. At ito naman ay ginamit din na resource material ng Catechism of the Catholic Church. At pareho ang sinasabi nito at ina-emphasize lamang ang there should be an extreme necessity for this. Pangatlo, nakita rin natin sa sulat na sinabi mo nga ng Santo Papa sa papal encyclical niyang Evangelium Vitae na ang lahat ng ito ay pwedeng mangyari at maaring mangyari at maari lamang alisin ang death penalty kung nakikita natin that to quote him, there is a steady improvement in the organization of penal system. Kung improve ng penal system natin, such cases are very rare, if not practically non-existent.
So you don't think yung mga statements ng Santo Papa in December and earlier in September changes any of these things, yung kanya sinabi?
Alam mo, ang papal encyclical has a very great hold on the authority of the church.
Okay, well, Bishop Bacani, okay, considering this, you don't think that if a person, for example, kills children, a serial killer, for example, rapes and all of that under heinous circumstances, na itong tao does not forfeit his right to life?
Well, gusto ko linawin yun.
Okay.
Alam mo, ang katuruan ng simbahan, ito, na ang death penalty ay maaaring ipataw. Gusto nating linawin
Maaaring
yun.
ipataw?
Maaaring ipataw.
Okay.
Pero ang sinasabi ng mga obispo dito sa Pilipinas, hindi dapat ipairal
bakit
ang death
yun?
penalty. So, kailangan maliwanag yun.
Okay. So hindi kayo talagang against the death penalty under all circumstances? Absolutely.
Okay. Because sabi nga ni Father Sonny, hindi naman yun ang katuruan ng Papa.
Okay.
At the tradition of the Church would allow the death penalty under certain circumstances.
Pero dito sa Pilipinas, hindi dapat?
Hindi dapat.
Bakit to?
Ganito yon. Kasi ang exception para maipairal mo ang death penalty ay kung ito ay absolutely necessary. to safeguard society and the lives of individuals. At sa tingin namin, hindi absolutely necessary yan. Kasi nga, yung ating penal system, bagamat defective pa, it is sufficiently improved that pwede nang mapigilan ang tao kahit na wala yung death penalty. Kanya sinasabi namin, okay, the absolute necessity that the Holy Father speaks of in Evangelium Vitae at saka dito sa Catechism of the Catholic Church, hindi natutupad. At ang katibayan na hindi na ito natutupad, ito, sabi nga ng Papa, kung ito'y mangyayari lamang in cases of absolute necessity, sa makatuwid ay magiging very rare ito. And practically, marahil practically non-existent.
Well, bigyan mo kami ng isang halimbawa kung ano yung extreme necessity na pinag-uusapan po ng...
Well, ang isang maliwanag na kaso ay kung halimbawa nagkaroon ng kudeta, may nagtraidor sa bayan, nahuli ang leader ng kudeta.
Pwedeng i-firing squad?
Yes. Yun ang isang kaso when the absolute necessity can occur.
But Father Sonny, you don't think that there is an absolute, is there an absolute necessity in your view na ipataw ang death penalty?
Una-una sa tingin ng marami, nakakarami, at mga sociologists ngayon na gumagalaw na nagtatrabaho sa ating mga correctional institutions at sa bilangguan, makikita natin, it's very obvious na talaga ang penal system natin is not only defective, it is really backtracking what it ought to be. Na nakikita natin, obviously, ang dami-daming nangyayaring mga mob killing, gang war sa loob, hindi tama ang kanilang, hindi suitable ang kanilang lugar, hindi maganda ang trato sa kanila, hindi trained ang mga taong nasa loob ng penitentiary houses na nag-guide sa kanila. It's very clear na kung ikukumpara natin ito sa mga highly civilized, quote-unquote, highly civilized countries, talagang wala talaga ang penal system natin is really very defective. Habang yung ibang mga penal system talaga is for rehabilitation. Talagang ni-rehabilitate ang mga preso at yung hindi sila nakakalabas kung hindi kailangan sila nakalabas. Dito sa atin, may drug sa loob. May drug sa loob, labas-pasok ang mga bilanggo. So, makikita natin, it's pure common sense na talagang may defect sa ating penal system. So, it cannot, if I will follow the Holy Father's hold, definitely this will not be applicable to the Philippines.
Well, some would say, however, na, well, bakit tayo magpapatay ng tao kung ang depekto na sa sistema? Because if the penal system is wrong, then correct the penal system, pero wag tayo pumatay ng tao.
Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay ang extreme necessity ng ang pagpatay ng tao. Ang extreme necessity ito ay masosolve na wala na ito kailangan kung nakikita natin maganda na ang penal system. Ang penal system natin, hanggang ito'y ganito, talagang ang pagpapataw ng death penalty ng ating legislators ay hindi naman kinuha lamang nila sa isang upuan Talagang pinag-aralan nila mabuti ito. At talagang hinasa nila ang kanilang pag-iisip, bakit kailangan ito? Ayaw, kung tutuusin, ayaw daw nila rin. Pero nakikita nila talagang pataas na pataas ang krimen at hindi ito nakakatulong sa ating bayan.
Okay, well, let's get Brother Eli's view here. Brother Eli, bakit ho kayo sang-ayon naman sa CDCP?
Pagka kasi inimpose natin yung death penalty, Mr. Attorney Puno, malalabag itong sinabi ni Jesus Christ, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. Give a criminal a chance to be filthy still.
So,
ito
madumi na siya, hindi bali kung manatili siya madumi.
That's the saying of Jesus Christ. Let him go to the extremes of his criminality. Katapos, let us wait for the coming of Christ, because he says here, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me.
So sa tingin ho ninyo talaga under no circumstances should the death penalty ever be allowed?
Because you can imprison a criminal under our correctional institution. Kaya nga ang tawag correctional eh.
Okay.
Paano ka pa magko-correct pagka pinatay mo na yung tao?
You cited the passage. Let me cite some Old Testament passages also. From Genesis 9, paragraphs 4 to 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. And also from Numbers, chapter 35, paragraph 27, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood.
Yes.
So, does not that also indicate that in the Bible, pwede rin ang death penalty?
Pwede during the time of Moses, during a theocratic form of government. Because the theocratic form of government, during the time of Moses, it is God who hands the death penalty. Walang mga hukom na crooked nun. Actually, nung araw, medyo panig ako dyan sa death penalty. Pero dahil doon sa programa ko, nakapanood yung mga nasa maximum security ng Muntinlupa,
Well,
we have now 27 members in the maximum security ready for lethal
Matthew
injection.
5:17-20. He did not come to change or abrogate the law.
What law?
Well, the law of the Old Testament, siguro.
No, he will fulfill the law that is for him, according to Jesus Christ.
Okay.
But the law for people, halimbawa, yung sinabi niya sa 8:13 of the book of Hebrews, nung sabihin niya ang isang bagong tipan, niluma niya ang una. That's why merong Old and New Testament.
So you're saying that the argument is being the Old and the New Testament.
Yes,
The
yes,
Old
sir.
Testament, no question. At an eye for an eye, a tooth for a
Yeah,
tooth.
a tooth for a tooth.
Sa New Testament,
Testament,
hindi pwede.
love your enemy.
It's the love. It's the law of love. Okay, let's get in this question. I'm sure we'll have a lot tonight. Sunshine from Las Piñas, come in.
Sa death penalty po, hindi ko kaya dapat imbis na patayin na lang ho, putulin na lang kaya ng ari.
Okay. All right. Some cultures have that, no? If you steal, cut off your hand. If you rape, I guess, cut off your
Yan
whatever.
ang sumakwel code natin nung
Oh,
araw.
yun. Oh. Why not?
Alam mo kung titingnan natin ang kultura natin, Dong, historically speaking, sa Igorot, sa mga Igorot, there has been a law even before our coming here, no?
Yeah.
Yung mga Spaniards na kapag ang isang lalaki hinalay ng isang babae, siya'y dililibing ng buhay.
Okay.
At kung titingnan din natin ang kultura natin, sa ating pasal, meron tayong sinasabi na sa bawat buhay na kinuha, may kabayaran.
Okay.
Makikita natin na ang thought dito ay iisa lamang.
All right, and in the time of Christ, I understand adulterers were also stoned to death. So, may nagkaiba niya. Okay, we have to take a break now. Pagbalik po natin, we'll ask Roger Arienda what he thinks. Okay, welcome back. Nagdadagsahan po ang mga tawag sa ating voice box. Kung sakaling busy ang mga linya, please continue trying so you can give us your vote. And again, ang ating pinagbobotohan ngayong gabi ay kung labag ba sa utos ng Diyos ang death penalty. And for you basketball fans, I just gonna plug Global News later on. They'll be airing live the announcement of basketball star Michael Jordan that he's retiring from the National Basketball Association. For you diehard fans, guess you probably want to hear that. Okay, Brother Roger, ano naman ang inyong pananaw tungkol dito sa labag ba sa utos ng Diyos, itong death penalty?
Lahat ng mga express differences or opinions regarding the pro and con of death penalty, which aim, whose objective is to deter, whether it can deter or not. Ang tingin ko parehong tama, parehong mali. Kasi even the Bible, kung gagamitin natin ang Biblia, even God allows, even Himself destroys people by the hundreds of thousands and millions. In fact, in the last days, sa Pahayag, Revelation, He will be destroying at least more than one half of the world population.
So, the wrath of God.
That's actually destruction. So, kung sasabihin naman natin ang Bible ba contains teachings about the sacredness of life? Meron. Sabi niya dito sa propeta niyang si Ezekiel, sa mga talata ng 18:23, hindi ko kinasisiya ang kamatayan ng masama. I'm not happy about the destruction of the wicked. Sabi pa ng Yahweh. Ang ibig ko nga, siya magsisi at magbagong buhay. So that's another thing. Pero dito sa New Testament teachings about the existence of a government in Romans 13, inaalaw ng Panginoon ang gobyerno to punish those who are wicked.
Okay.
And when we speak about punishment, it can be from death to life. Makikita mo. So kung gagamitin din natin ang Biblia in resolving this issue, nandiyan din sinasabi ng Panginoon, well, anybody who just look at a woman with lust are guilty of adultery. Kaya ang sabi pa nga ng Panginoon, kung nakakasala ka gawa ng iyong mata, dukitin mo yan. Mabuti na yung mapunta ka sa langit na walang mata kaysa mapunta ka sa impyerno. Kung ang kamay, ang pinagmulan ng kasalanan, putulin mo yan kaysa mapunta ka sa impyerno. O kung ang ari mo, siguro pwedeng idagdag natin yan. Putulin mo na yan kaysa mapunta ka sa impyerno.
Okay.
So in other words, makikita mo, ang
So, hindi
Biblia
labag
provides
sa utos
pro
ng-
and con eh.
Yeah, I see.
But ang point of view here is actually, lahat ng participant of criminal activities are people, men, human. Sino ito? Bakit ginagawa ng tao ito? The origin of a rapist or a corruption, yung mga magnanakaw, bakit ginagawa nila yan?
Well, okay, I'm asking you this because alam na siguro ng tao na you also spent time in Muntinlupa.
Almost about 10
Pinag-uusapan
years.
natin ito, marami kayong nakausap na nasa death row. Yung
Kasama
malapit
ko,
na-
nakatulog ko yun sa maximum compound ng Muntinlupa.
Okay.
About 700 death convicts were all roaming around in that maximum
Anong
compound.
lumabas
ng Muntinlupa.
sa karanasan ninyo yan? Would you say na some people in the death row deserve to die? Dapat talagang bitayin. At alam ko siguro, meron din kayo sinasabihin na hindi siguro dapat karapat-dapat na patayin ng mga iba dyan. Pero were there some people that you thought dapat talagang bitayin?
Talaga napakaraming dapat bitayin. Eventually, napakaraming tao papatayin talaga ng Panginoon pag hindi sila nagsisi. But
Ayun,
now, point of view is that some people who are deserving of death can have a time where they can really repent and they can do better than,
What if they don't?
than,
What if
than
they don't?
being dead.
Yeah. What if they don't? If the threat of life of
Katulad din
death.
sa Garay, no?
Yeah.
Ang, at least initially, I heard na hindi pa siya nagsisisi, hindi siya humingi ng tawad, hindi siya nagsisisi, humingi ng tawad sa Panginoon. So, if he dies next week, at yung tiaroy na lipya, his body is going to be destroyed because of the lethal. Not only that, pati yung kanyang kaluluwa, papuntang impyerno yan. Yan ang ibig sabihin
And
niya.
sangayon kayo doon.
Wala, siyang gusto niyan.
Yun na nga. Pero hindi kayo tututol sa death penalty under those circumstances.
But if I can help it, I'm going to talk to the Sigaray to receive Jesus Christ to ask forgiveness sapagkat natatanda mo naman yung isang bilanggo na nakabitin sa krus kasama ng Panginoon.
Alright.
That himself was a criminal. He was going to die.
Alright.
And yet, he asked Jesus to forgive, to remember him
Father
if
Sonny,
he is in heaven.
Palta natin na example ni Echegaray. Supposing this guy was really repentant, lumuluhod, umiiyak, humihingi ng patawad dito kay baby, would you change your view? O bibitayin pa rin yan?
Justice shall prevail.
Justice first.
Kung ano ang pinataw na batas, yun ang susundan. Kung wala tayong batas dito, Dong, di magkakagulo. There will be anarchy.
Alright, okay.
I mean, pero gusto ko lang salubungin yung sinabi ni brother sa atin, ni Roger, na actually, ang kriminal, hindi naman siya naman pinapataw sa kanya ang kamatayan. Siya ang gumawa ng kamatayan niya.
Okay. Well, Bishop, alam ho ninyo, problema kasi natin dito, sometimes you have some rather sympathetic figures na are going to meet their death. Pero meron din mga sitwasyon, halimbawa, yung tinatawag natin, yung mga nagmamassacre ng pamilya, yung nangre-rape ng napakarami at papatayin pa, yung nangyayari ngayon ng mga 5-year-old girls, 3-year-old girls are violated. Yung mga drug addicts at saka yung mga drug lords, drug pushers, nagbibigay ng mga kilos and kilos of shabu for people to, to destroy their lives. Yung mga yan ba hindi dapat talaga patayin?
Well,
What reason do they have for living?
well, the reason that they have for living is they're human beings.
Well,
no? Sabi ko to sa iyo, Dong, ang bias ng ating Panginoong Jesucristo towards life, no? Towards life. At sabihin ko sa iyo, kuminsan kahit na sasabihin ng karapat-dapat ng ipataw ang parusang kamatayan, ang ating Panginoon, even though it was the law, bibigyan kita ng isang instance, yung case of the adulterous woman.
Yes.
Caught in adultery, the law was very clear, and it was pointed out to him. Moses in the law commanded us to stone such a one.
But you know, Bishop, this is why the church sometimes is criticized. Kasi sinasabi nila, lagi na lang yung kapakanan ng kriminal ang pinag-uusapan. What about the victims? People are saying, di ba dapat bigyan din ng hustisya, ng katarungan ng mga biktima?
Ay, hindi. Pero ito naman ang dugtong namin dyan. Bigyan ng katarungan. Pero ang katarungan, hindi nangangahulugang bitay. You can have justice without bitay. Ang hirap ngayon, ang isip ng tao, para magkaroon ka ng hustisya, kinakailangan patayin. No. What we're saying is, justice does not always demand death. And also, dito sa atin, within the Christian context, alam mo, tama yung sinabi kanina, yung sinagot ni si Brother Eli ata sumagot. Sabi, okay, I did not come to abolish the law but to fulfill it. And the fulfillment of the law and the fulfillment of justice is mercy. No? Bibigyan kita ng example, Dong. Halimbawa, may utang ka sa akin na 20,000 piso. Dumating ang panahon na dapat ka na magbayad, sabi mo sa akin, sorry Bishop, hindi mo na kita mabayaran, ito lang ang 2,000 piso, pero yung 18 piso hindi ko pa kayang bayaran. Pwede ba bigyan mo ako ng palugit? Pag sinabi ko sa'yo, Dong, huwag mo na lang alalahanin yon. Pinatatawad ko na yun sa'yo. Now, you will not call me unjust.
Pero iba ho yan, di ba?
Pero
Isn't there a
ito,
difference?
no, but ang gusto ko sabihin, ang hanap ng tao, justice.
Right.
But justice can also be fulfilled when mercy is done. No? And mercy does not mean that justice has been forgiven. And certainly, justice does not always demand the death penalty. Kaya lang, sabi natin, may mga cases when it is absolutely necessary.
But in the
to do
Philippines,
so.
you don't see any possibility.
We
of-
don't see
you
that.
Don't see it.
We don't see that now in the present circumstances in the Philippines.
Excuse me, my point of view is this, in addition to what I've been saying. Sige, patay mo lahat ng drug pusher na yan, drug addict na yan, smuggler na yan. Bukas, papalitan lamang yun ng another bunch of
O, di
drug
patayin natin
addicts.
sila ulit.
Yeah, kaya there'll be no end.
No, this is just an argument.
But my point of view is that there must be an origin to what this society is now in. Na makikita mo, kanya-kanyang patayan na. Here is a country who calls itself a Christian. And yet, every day ang headline natin, scandal,
No, but
corruption,
people
killing.
like Maggie Del Riva say, for example, the death penalty is not pro-death, it is pro-life. Because by killing some people, you save a lot more other people.
Yeah, but that is not ultimately the alternative of God. He wants us to know Him so that within our heart, we may not want to kill another, and in times, the better treatment is actually to love one another, di ba? Possible naman yan. With the gospel, it is possible.
Okay.
I always believe in the sacredness of life. I always believe that it's coming from the Lord. I always believe that God is the author of life and we have been created according to the image of the Lord. But that image is obscured the moment that life is taken simply just life. Life is a responsibility. If a person does not at all hold his responsibility to respect others, then there is no reason for him to be in that community. Or else, mawawala talaga ang tinatawag nating order and peace in the community. Eto nga, tayo nga meron ng law, meron ng order, may peace. Pero tingnan mo naman ang dami ng mga nang re-rape, pumapatay, nagkikidnap. Kung hindi itong sitwasyon na ito tama-tamat, angkop na angkop, para ipataw itong death penalty. Hindi ko na alam kung ano pang panahon ang gagamitin natin para gamitin natin death penalty as an extreme means of penalizing.
You know what happened to us in our country? Kayo umamin under the Catholic Bishop Conference only a couple of years ago through your president Morales, di ba? Morelos, who claimed that and said and revealed that since the Synod of 1581, the Catholic Bishop Conference, the Catholic Church, have never preached the gospel for 400 years. And that is why, according to their findings, their finding is that society has become corrupt and we have now an unruly society, people who have never known Christ. Sapagkat bukod tangi dyan, if the people have not known the gospel, hindi nila alam kung sinong kaaway ng tao.
Pero Roger, exagerado
ang
naman.
nakikita natin, tao magkakaaway. Ay, what about Ephesians 6:12? Na sinasabi ang kaaway natin, di tao, ang kaaway natin, apostles of evils and darkness are hovering all over. Yun yung Christian, doctrine.
Pero exagerado naman yung sinasabi na wala kaming tinuturo na...
Sinabi ni Morelos yan.
Hindi naman.
Hindi sinabi.
Nasa inyong...
Being preached effectively.
Yeah.
That was... I think we ought to admit
No.
Okay.
Na-publish yan, na-publish yan. And in fact,
pasok
meron
lang
kayong
natin
pastoral
po sa
letter. May pastoral
Okay,
letter.
let's bring in this question. Vita from Caloocan, come in.
Hello, good evening po.
Hi, good evening.
May question lang po ako kay Bishop.
Go ahead.
Kasi bakit po parang mas kinakampihan ninyo sa ngayon ang gumawa ng masama? Bakit po mas kasi kitang-kita naman po na talagang ang victim po talaga ang kawawa. At saka bakit po parang hindi nagkakaisa ngayon ang Catholic. Ang mga ng Catholic. Kasi I am a Catholic. Yun lang po ang gumugulo sa isip ko sa ngayon.
Okay, pwede ba sagutin
Go ahead,
mo yan,
please.
Dong? Hindi po kinakampihan ng masama. Sapagkat kami naman po sinasabi rin naming masama ang mang-rape, hindi tama ang ginawa, parusahan. Itong si Echegaray. At parusahan ng mang-rape na katulad niya, parusahan ng pumatay. Ang sinasabi lamang namin, parusahan, ngunit huwag hanggang bitay. Yun ang sinasabi namin. Kaya hindi po ito pagkampi sa gumawa ng masama.
Yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, Bishop, no, itong sinasabi nating correctional system natin dito, nakakarinig tayo na doon, ikaw Roger, galing ka doon. Ito mga ito, nakakalabas. Ito mga ito, nakakapasok ng kung ano nung pang-enjoy ng buhay. Nakita natin halimbawa, yung mga ibang yung mga naroob na, nakakapasok ng mga kama na it's just like their beds in their home, na may mga white sheets pa na pinapalitan every day.
Meron pang helper sila.
May helper pa sila, meron nakapapasok dyan, nagpapalagay ng mga chafing dishes ng mga pagkain na para may mga bisita sila, nakakapagpakain sila. Isn't that a travesty of justice, Bishop?
Well, it is, and therefore it has to be corrected. No? Pero sabi mo na nga kanina, ganito tinitingnan ko. Sabi ko, mahirap hulihin, no? Mahirap imbestigahan, mahirap sentensyahan, mahirap pa ipataw ang sentensya. Mahirap yan, nagkakakwa dyan. Sabi ko, hindi, ayusin yun. Nagtataka ako, mahirap pa lahat na ito, tudasin ngayon ng bilanggo.
Masyadong madali, it's too easy.
Too easy.
Too easy.
At eto tingnan natin, para, alam nyo, para makita natin ito. At kahit na doon sa CONCOM, nung aming binigyan ng kaunting puwang itong death penalty, sabi namin, for heinous crimes and for compelling reasons.
Right.
No? Alam mo, halos kamukha yun na sinasabi ng Papa. Talaga, yung hindi ba namin naiisip yung sinabi ng Papa, hindi pa sinasabi ng Papa, pero talagang ang ganda-ganda ng pagkakatiyap. Pero we certainly never expected so many death sentences, no? And it was not within the purview ng mga constitutional.
We have to take a break because I want to talk about that. Because I don't know whether that implies na may weakness ang batas o talaga malaki problema natin, number one. Number two, meron tayong situation dito of the so-called dueling catechisms. Ano? The catechism of 1992 versus the 97 editions are quoted by each side to justify their positions. Pagbalik mo natin. Let's go back to ano talagang sinasabi ng Biblia, ano talagang sinasabi ng simbahan dito. Let me just make one thing very clear. Nung nag-usap ang Papa tungkol sa kanya mga mungkahi at saka kanya mga pananaw tungkol sa death penalty, you know ba, when he was speaking that, was he speaking with quote-unquote infallibility?
No, itong parting ito, hindi ito infallible pronouncement. Makikita mo, in fact, dito meron development ng doctrine.
Nagpapalit?
Pero it's a refinement talaga. But always moving towards the same direction. No? Kanya, noong una, mas maluwag talaga ang pagpapataw ng death penalty at ang...
noong una mga pari mismo nagpapapatay ng tao, di ba? Yung mga Inquisition and all of that, they developed new forms of torture. I mean, di ba? The rack and the wheel, those are all inventions of the Inquisition.
Kanya talagang, nakikita, tapos na-realize, hindi, mali yan. There should be a greater bias for life. So there was, pagkatapos itong catechism, meron ng dalawang, may isang catechism, pero nagkaroon ng corrections, refinements.
Okay, so before we go into that, so nothing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there anything, anywhere, which says that the death penalty is immoral? Anything anywhere which says that?
Let me tell you this, on the part of the Catholic Church at least, we do not say that all imposition of the death penalty is immoral and that it can never be justified.
So like what you answered in test questions, is it immoral? Ang sagot mo, it depends.
Tama yan.
It depends. It depends on what?
At ngayon, ang sinasabi ng Papa, yung sinasabing, yung extreme gravity, pinalitan ng when there is an absolute necessity.
All right. I think what you're referring to is this. Kasi, Father Sonny, you quoted a portion of the catechism, or I think you cited the catechism. But I think even Brother Mike Velarde in the El Shaddai also quoted a portion of the catechism which talked about extreme gravity where death penalty can be among the punishments if it is commensurate with the crime. Hindi ba? Alright. Ngayon sinasabi nyo, pinalitan yun.
Pinalitan.
In a later version.
Pagdating ng
Yeah.
Evangelium Vitae, no? Sinabi ng Holy Father, and let me quote this to you, no? Sabi niya today, however, today, however, as a result of steady improvements in the organization of the penal system, such cases are very rare, if not practically inexistent. At pagkatapos, sabi niya, sinasabi din niya dito, later on, dito sa CCC, itong Catechism of the Catholic Church, na today, in fact, as a consequence of possibilities which the state has for effectively preventing crime, by rendering one who has committed an offense incapable of doing harm, without definitively taking away from him the possibility of redeeming himself, the cases in which the execution of the offender is an absolute necessity are very
So
rare.
it is still
not practically
it's still not totally proscribed.
Yes.
Pwede pa rin.
I have always said that in the beginning, and the Catholic bishops recognize
So the
that.
argument only is whether in this specific situation, dito sa Pilipinas, kung talagang absolute necessity yung patayin.
Yes.
The trouble with our discussion, Dong, is that we cannot find a good solution to inquiring among the Catholics, like the bishop and our brothers.
So let's turn to you.
Kaya nga, because kung if you are using the scripture, sinasabi ng Panginoon dito, your people has to be born again. Because deep in the hearts of men, nandyan ang lasting, nandyan ang pakikapi, nandyan ang pagpatay. There's something wrong about the human heart.
Sure.
Na sinasabing it is inherently wicked. Now, may solusyon ang kasulatan. Ang solusyon niya is permanent, which can afford one who can believe Jesus of eternal life, as well as a guideline by the dwelling of the Holy Spirit to discipline his own heart, Father.
Pero,
without which, itong wala sa atin ito yung wala sa inyo, itong wala sa mga Catholics. And that's the reason lang nakakagulo. Ito nagagasa, nagpapatay, puro Katoliko. Kaya kailangan ngayon is to, if you want to go to the Scripture.
Pero, Brother Eli,
Roger, hindi ko alam na lahat pala kayo ika-apat na persono ng presentismo ng Pilipinas. Wala na pala nagkakasala sa inyo.
Hindi, nagkakasala.
Well,
naman sinasabi
kaya
yun.
sabi
Pero
ba, alam,
makikita mo naman,
importante, Roger, tingnan natin lahat tayo. We
historical,
are all fallen.
Yeah.
We are all fallen.
Sani, even sa historical, natin, makikita mo na kayo, the most murderous people.
Pero,
kasi hindi ba? Pinakamarami. Biro mo,
ito tatanungin ko. Palagay ko, kayo, pati kayo, Brother Eli, and maybe even you, Bishop Bacani, medyo nagulat kayo sa reaksyon ng publiko sa nangyaring ito. Hindi ba? Dahil, dahil hindi ko rin akalain na ganyan na magiging reaksyon.
Siguro,
But isn't that an indication na parang siguro, hindi ba kumisan you also say that the voice of God is also seen from the voice of the people? Na baka ito naman na sinasabi nating absolute necessity insight. Na baka naman ang mga tao ngayon sinasabi, teka muna, balansin natin ng konti muna ito. Dahil walang balansin towards the side of the victims
Baka naman yung attorney, yung voice of the people is the voice of God. Kung ang sisigaw yung sumigaw nung ibibitayin si Kristo, you cannot say that is the voice of God. Dahil puro masasama yung sumigaw na yun.
Pero dito sa pagsisigaw sa issue ito, nakakakita ka ba?
Maaari, hindi enlightened ang ating mga mamamayan.
May demonyo ba na sumisigaw na bitayin si
Kasi tinan nyo, attorney, ano po, ang defects ng society, yung mga nang-rape, yung mga nagpumapatay na serial killer, o kaya yung mga nang mamasaker, most of them are under the influence of drugs. Hindi mo naman gustong maging drug addict Pero merong courier ng drug para makarating sa'yo. Sometimes even policeman ay nagiging drug addict dahil meron silang mga nahuhuling mga drugs na kukuha nila, ginagawa nila by curiosity, tinitikman nila.
Hindi mo ba lumabas sa narcotics command? May mga drug addict na
talaga. Pero out of curiosity, doon nag-umpisa yun. Knowing full well that you are destroying yourself because of these drugs. Pero inumpisahan mo. Ngayon, nung nandun ka na sa extreme na drug addict ka na nga, all the possibilities of committing crime ay nasa sa'yo na. Ayan. Kaya, sabi ng Biblia, 6:12 of the book of Ephesians, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Hindi tayo dapat galit dito sa kriminal. Dapat galit tayo sa krimen. At ugatin natin ang pinanggagalingan ng krimen. Saan galing ang krimen? Saan galing ang krimen? Yan ay nasa
nasa isang
Yeah.
matuwid na pamamahala ng sambayanan siguro para maituwid ang mga kagaya ng penal
Maliwanag
system
naman
natin.
Yeah.
Maraming depekto. Ang
Yeah.
ating mga tagapagpatupad ng batas, maraming depekto. Tapos marami ng depekto, papatayin mo ngayon yung
Hindi, pero
akusado.
naririnig ko kayo. Kaya lang, problema ito. Sinasabi ko nga, siguro yung sinasabi ng tao, no, yung siguro yung kanilang dinadaing ngayon is, okay, ganun na nga lahat yan eh. Pero ako, nabiktima ako. Anong magiging katalungan para sa akin?
Di huwag patayin.
Hihintayin ko ba lahat
Hindi,
ito?
ikulong yun, ikulong.
Ikulong.
Mas mahirap yung pagdurusan ng
Pag nakakulong yun, makakalabas, gagawing assassinated, assassinate
Hindi
pa ng ibang tao
hindi
yun.
na palalabasin. Kaya nga dapat i-correct yung penal system eh.
Okay.
Let him be
Libo-libong,
there until the time na naging repentant siya for let us give time for God's justice. Kasi pag pinatay na natin yung tao, inalis mo na yung kapangyarihan ng Diyos na maaaring makapagpabago dun sa tao.
Okay.
Binigyan tayo ng halimbawa
At
ni
saka,
Cristo dun sa krus.
testigo
Dalawa
ko,
yung kriminal
Dong,
pareho, pero yung isa nagbalik loob sa
Testigo ko doon.
Talagang
libo-libong
matindi
mga
lagi ang
bilanggo.
debate ito. We have to take a
Dong.
break. We'll be right back. Okay, let's get this question in. Jin from Valenzuela. Come in, Jin.
Magandang umaga pa sa inyo lahat.
Good morning.
Gusto ko lang pong tanongin yung ating mga guests kung yung comment po nila kung don't you think na ang pagbitay po kay Leo Echegaray o sa mga iba pa pong criminals na convicted sa death penalty is part of God's will na rin?
Part of God's will. Well,
Yun ang pinag-usapan.
Po pwedeng mangyari yun. We can assume that. After all, it is simply an assumption. In fact, if all of those who are lined up to be executed ay magsisisi ang mga yan, it would be better for them to just die there. At least masisave ang kanilang kaluluwa kaysa namang nandyan sila na...
nakita mo ito, Brother Roger. Nakakatiyak ka ba na talaga itong pagsisisi na ito ay talagang genuine ito? O itong pagsisisi nito ay dahil natatakot na lang umamatay at
sabi nga
mabuti
ni Ginoong Chino
punta na lang sila
Roses,
sa langit, no?
Dong, sabi nga ni Chino Roses when he was still alive, roaming around the coffee shop, you know, if this Arianda can believe God, there must be a God.
There must be a God.
There must be a God, you
Okay.
know. Kami,
Yeah,
mga
usually
Marxist
I
ng
listen to
panahon
you
yun.
to, yung
Nakita
mga
ko
bomba
na
mo.
ang mga libu-libong mga bilanggo talagang tumanggap sa Panginoon na bagong buhay nila. At nung lumaya sila, ito, namumuhay na ng tahimik. At sinasabi nila na sana maaga pa nakilala nila ang Panginoon.
Okay.
Pero sapagkat hindi niyo pinipreach ang gospel, hindi nakilala ng mga tao ang Panginoon. Yun ang problema ninyong malaki.
Okay. Bishop, you wanted to make a point about the number of people in the death row.
Yeah, ganito yun eh.
Oh.
Para makita din naman natin kung karapat-dapat nga itong sentensyang bitay dito sa Pilipinas, imagine natin ang maaaring mangyari. Kung ito, si Echegaray, magpapasimula na yan, edi bibitayin din lahat yung mga yan eh. Ngayon may gitnang 868 yata.
And more coming.
And more coming. Hanggang sa gayon. No? There will be an average of 2 a day. Matimba natin kaya, ano kaya mangyayari sa sambayan ng Pilipino kung araw-araw may binibitay na 2?
At hindi lahat yun, Bishop, at may kasalanan.
Okay,
Yun.
sagot doon. Mukha nga naman parang naging slaughterhouse yung
Ay, hindi naman siguro ang gobyerno natin ay napakatanga sa bagay na ito. Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na reprieve, at pinag-aralan ito ng presidente at tinitingnan talaga kung paano ang proseso nito. Hindi naman sa isang click lang ng hindi, papatay ng isang tao. Meron tayong law. Yung sinasabing absolute necessity or extreme necessity, yun ang nagbibigay ng particular na necessities or cases na ganito ay ang ating batas. At ang batas natin ay hindi gawa ng isang tao lamang. Ginawa ito ng mga taong nire-represent ang kabuuan for the people, by the people, of the people. Kung unjust yung batas, kailangan magreklamo tayo. Kung hindi ito unjust, then why do we have not to follow the law itself? Kung hindi, wala mangyayari sa atin. Hindi tayo magkakaroon ng tunay na
Okay, well, isang aspeto yun. I mean, alright.
Kanya nga ang mga bishops nagrereklamo na mula pa nung tinatalakay itong batas na ito kami naglabi kami sa Congress personally on this, no? So nagpuprotesta kami. Kaya ngayon na ipapataw uli, patuloy pa rin ang protesta. Sapagkat sinasabi namin, sa kasalukuyang panahon, hindi dapat yan.
Okay.
At saka parang hindi mercy killing, parang hindi death penalty, parang mercy killing eh. Imagine lethal injection, ang sarap-sarap mamatay. Mas mahihirapan siya pagka ipaparusa. Kukulong mo siya habang buhay. Magkakaroon pa ng chance na magbago yung tao.
Okay, Sunshine from San Andres, come in.
For Father Bacani Dong, no?
Yes.
Kung nangyaring hindi siya nagpari ngayon, so may tendency may asawa na siya ngayon. Kung nangyari sa anak niya yan, sa nangyari ni Baby Itzigaray, patawarin ho ba niya yung gumawa sa anak rin niya?
Well,
Alam po ninyo, hihingin ko rin na maparusahan yung gumawa nun sa anak ko kung nagkaroon ako ng anak. Pero sasabihin ko po ito sa inyo, kung yun nalalaman ko, yung nalalaman ko na rin ngayon, hindi ko hihingin na mabitayan.
kayo naman ho, supposing you were in that position,
I would follow the law.
you'd follow the law.
I will follow the law. I'm always strict on that point na I will follow the law because
Well, let me
we've
ask you
got
this.
to follow
Yeah.
the law unless it is unjust, as I said.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Are not some of us hiding behind the law? I mean, because beyond the law, there's an issue of morality which I think you want, which the bishops are trying to point out.
Yeah.
Kasi, of course, ngayon, the congressmen and the senators mo kaya hindi nila i-review ito. Siguro tatakot sila sa tide of public opinion at this particular point. Doesn't mean that next year or the year after that, hindi uulitin itong ano, no? But the question is okay. I mean, that's why I didn't want to go to the issue of the law kasi many of us can say that's the law. But the question is it the moral thing to do? Is it the right thing to do? Beyond what the law is saying.
The church is
saying,
the church is always has a limited and restrictive kind of life. Ang nakakaalam ng social atmosphere and social values that we have and attitudes ay ang mga taong inelect natin. Kung sinasabi natin nagtatago tayo sa kanila, then ano pa mangyayari sa ating lipunan? At ang moralidad na tinatawag natin ay of course it should be based in the church.
Yeah.
And it ought to be based in the church. Ang mga taong gumawa ng ating mga laws ay members din ng simbahan.
Yeah.
Kaya kung nakikita natin na hindi ito pumapanig sa tama, kailangan na-correct natin ito.
Ito yung problema natin. I think a lot of people listening to us, both from those that believe, that don't believe in the Catholic Church, but on the other hand, are considered themselves born again. Hindi, ang problema nito is, I think they all need guidance. Kung ako naniniwala halimbawa sa death penalty, does that mean I am less moral than somebody else who believes in the death
my
penalty?
point.
I mean,
Yes.
I think people need guidance from the church. And I think that's really basically what our point is. Ano ba talaga? What is mabuti pa siguro, masabihin na, ito na ang doktrina natin para tapos
ito
na.
When God allowed the flooding of the whole world and destroyed lives and living things, was God immoral? Or
Pero
moral?
siya ang may kapangyarihan sa buhay.
Kaya nga eh.
Ang pag-uusap dito,
question of
human
morality.
Human inflicting death.
So,
to
my
another.
question, what about those that are looking at you, your religious leaders, they look to you for guidance. What are we going to tell them? That it is less moral when you believe in the death penalty or what?
Let us believe the law of God. Not the law of man. It is better to
The morality here is to protest against the death penalty here in the Philippines.
All right, you agree?
No.
Okay, all right. I think on that point, I think let's put you on this. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us on this particular discussion. It's very, very enlightening, very, very interesting. Babalik po kami. Isang Biblia, iba't ibang pananaw. How is it possible that the same book can have conflicting meanings? The Catholic clergy is generally opposed to capital punishment. The Pope feels the same. Pero walang tiyak na doktrina ang simbahang Katoliko na nagsasabing immoral ang parusang bitay. Konsyensya na lang ang bawat isa sa atin. Individual conscience and collective conscience. Kung sa ngayon ang bulong ng konsyensya ninyo at ang bayan ay dapat ipatupad ang parusang bitay, yan na nga ang mangyayari. For all of us here at ABS-CBN News and Current Affairs, ako po si Dong Puno. Thank you very much and good night. By the way, the last vote is 230 to 108. 230 no, 108 yes. Good night.